First, I and so many people are so happy that, thank God, Baruch Hashem, that Netanyahu was matzliach, that he was so successful, that it was so overwhelming. I feel a little bad, I have to tell you, about Obama, because they were going to make a l'chaim in the White House when Herzog was going to win, they thought, and I feel a little bad for them that they couldn't make a l'chaim. They worked very, very hard to make sure Netanyahu would not be matzliach. So, look, this is great for the people of Israel, this is great for the Jewish people, and this is great for the world, because Netanyahu being reelected gives strength to all of those people who understand the reality of what's going on in the Middle East, the problems in Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, Yemen, Tunisia. Netanyahu understands the dangers that are being faced in the Middle East, not just by Israel, but by the entire world from the Islamic radicals. So, he is considered a leader when it comes to this issue, and we need people like that. So thank God he was reelected. And of course, we are hopeful and we believe that Netanyahu will keep his word, will keep his commitment in terms of Naftali Bennett, that people understood that Prime Minister Netanyahu needed to get more than Labor. But not only did he get more than Labor, it was overwhelming. We call it a landslide, a huge victory. And I'm sure that he will keep his commitment, his word, to recognize what Naftali Bennett represents. Because so many of the people who were going to vote for Naftali Bennett, and Bennett himself understood that Netanyahu had to win. So we are confident that he will keep his word. His word was clear, very, very clear, and Naftali Bennett is not just a partner, but he is a major partner, and that will be recognized, and that's very, very, very important. A lot of people, I don't understand, Obama. He's a little bit out of control. And there are people who are concerned about the relationship between the United States and Israel. Let me just say that relationship is not jeopardized. That relationship is going to be absolutely fine. Obama may try to make things a little bit difficult, but at the end of the day, the relationship between the United States and Israel on every single level will continue to be very, very, very good. There are always bumps on the road. People forget that when Ronald Reagan was the president of the United States, and he was a great friend of Israel, there were bumps in the road when Israel attacked the nuclear reactor in Iraq. There were bumps on the road. America stopped sending certain weapons to Israel. But you know what? After a few months, everything was fine. And many other presidents, you have the same situation. I think Obama is more difficult. I think now he's very, very upset. But he's upset. It's a little silly, really, to be honest. He's upset that he lost. Obama lost. The people of Israel won. It was a democracy. The only country in the whole Middle East, how many countries? 22, 25? I don't know. The only country in the Middle East that has a real election, and boy, do they have a real election. I mean, everybody's fighting and it's going like no place in the world. I don't think there's any democracy in the world that there's so much confrontation, but this is called democracy. And I know that Barack Obama did everything in the world to make sure that Labor would win. But the people of Israel won. They spoke. It's a democracy. Just like Obama won in America. There was an election. Many things were done. Many things were done. Some of them even controversial by the Democratic Party. And Obama won, and he's the president. I am sure that the relationship between the United States and Israel will be absolutely fine. There's no question about it. The Prime Minister of Israel is not the President of the United States. The Prime Minister of Israel has one responsibility: to protect the well-being of the people of Israel. He doesn't work for Barack Obama. He does what's good for the people of Israel. And that really is the fundamental thing. Barack Obama would like that the Prime Minister of Israel should follow Barack Obama. Iran, good deal, not good deal. Barack Obama wants it. Maybe he wants another Nobel Prize. But the Prime Minister of Israel has one responsibility: doing what's good for the people of Israel, regardless of how upset Obama or any American president will be. But the relationship between these two countries will always be a good relationship. These are two democracies. The American people, the Congress of the United States, Democrats and Republicans, they understand what Israel represents to the world. They understand that Israel, not just a democracy, but who does America have at the end of the day to really depend on in terms of many different things? It's the people of Israel, it's the state of Israel, it's the government of Israel. So now there's a bump in the road. And by the way, if Netanyahu had not won the election, Barack Obama would be very happy. I would rather that he not be so happy, and that we have the right person at the right time to continue as the Prime Minister of Israel. Netanyahu is the right person. There was no choice. If you care about the well-being of Israel, Netanyahu was the only choice. But I have to say that I am very impressed also with Naftali Bennett, that he understood that Likud had to win, and they won convincingly. This is absolutely incredible. What happened in Israel is incredible. Everybody, someone said to me, an elected official in America who's more liberal, very liberal, who wanted Labor to win. You know what he said to me? He said, we had hope. The polls showed we had a chance. He said, I wish the polls would not have shown that. Now we feel even worse. I said, I'm sorry. This is democracy. So people do not have to worry about the relationship. That relationship will be absolutely fine at the end of the day. And besides, the elections are starting in America. Republicans, Democrats, and everybody will want to be a friend of Israel. Barack Obama can try to be hurtful, but slowly his days are coming to an end. He's almost what we call in America a lame duck. At the end, and when you are at the end, he's desperate to accomplish something, because in foreign policy, there's not one thing that the President of the United States can say, look what I accomplished. 6 years I am the president, over 6 years. Not one single thing. As an American, I am sorry, President Obama, that we will not let you accomplish something on the back of Israel, where it endangers the security and the well-being of the people of Israel and Europe and America by letting Iran get a nuclear device eventually. It's not about the president accomplishing things. I want him to accomplish things, but not at the expense of the people of Israel. As far as the deal with Iran, that people are very, very, very concerned about, we have a new situation today. We have the French. The French are concerned. The French are looking at this and they're not so sure this is such a good deal. And I think that once we find out more of the details, people are going to be even more upset. Members of the United States Congress, I can tell you, not just Republicans, but Democrats as well. People know when a deal is a bad deal, and they know when it's a good deal. So far from everything that everybody knows, it's more about President Obama being desperate to make a deal, whatever kind of deal, good or bad, let's make a deal. I'm sorry, that is not acceptable. That is dangerous. This is not a game where it is about Barack Obama. It's about the safety of the world, basically, because if it's a bad deal, there will be the beginning of a nuclear competition all over the world. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and other countries it'll be very clear to them that this is a bad deal, and they will do the same thing. And the last thing that is healthy for the world is to have all these countries. Saudi Arabia doesn't have to develop a nuclear weapon. They can pay for it. And just think that all these countries, and there's no question about it, if they believe it's a bad deal And right now, they believe it's a bad deal. I mean, one thing Barack Obama has accomplished, I'm sorry, about foreign affairs, he's brought Saudi Arabia closer to Israel. He's brought Egypt closer to Israel. This he accomplished. He didn't mean to accomplish it, but he did accomplish that. You know, one of the issues that everyone is obsessed with, America, Europe, is the two-state solution. This is like, they go to sleep at night, they dream about the two-state solution. Nobody deals with reality. Who's the partner? Who are you going to make a deal with? Who are you going to talk to? Like the Prime Minister said, to talk about a two-state solution today, I don't know 100 years from now, but to talk about this kind of thing in light of what's going on in Gaza, in light of the fact that Judea and Samaria, a lot of people don't realize what Judea and Samaria is all about. They don't realize that from Judea and Samaria to Tel Aviv, to the heart of Israel, Ben Gurion Airport. By the way, they won't have to shoot missiles from Judea and Samaria. They can throw rocks at Ben Gurion Airport and hit the airport. That's how close it is. It's like together, like this. So the idea of talking to, it's an obsession. Don't tell me, don't confuse me with the facts. Don't tell me about reality, that this cannot happen. Can you imagine, God forbid, who are we talking to? To Hamas? To Fatah? Who we want to make a deal with? And God forbid, I mean, can you imagine, Israel just went through a war with Hamas. Can you imagine those Hamas in the West Bank, in Judea and Samaria? God forbid. So, sometimes you have to deal with reality. Some people don't want to face reality. That's unfortunate. But we live in a world today that, things have changed dramatically. It used to be all about if only we would make peace with the Palestinians, the whole world would be fine. Everything that's going on right now with Islamic State, with all of the radical Islam, Muslims murdering Muslims. Every single day, Muslims, imagine what they would do to Jews if they had a chance. So, this is the problem? That's not the problem. When they're fighting all over in Yemen, in Tunisia, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, nobody talks about the Palestinians. This is not the issue. Some people are obsessed by the two-state solution, but they are being delusional. It's not reality. They're not living in reality. Some people cannot deal with that. It's unfortunate. But there is no one to talk to. There is no one to deal with. And we should stop pretending and making believe. We need to be in the real world and deal with the real problems confronting the world.
So, okay, it's closing, anything, or that's it? Or just...
I can do that.
So, thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, I think that was very...